Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. We are on the server 108 account and today is day 132. So almost 4 months and a half into this account. And today we're going to talk a little bit about our guild and how we're doing in Battle of Glory. I know some people don't like this content. I actually find this is a very good way of seeing which are the active guilds and how your guild can potentially do better. So you can see our team is ranked 79. We have a very mediocre team, but our guild ranking is ranked 11, which is super surprising looking at, how many guilds there are in the game. But actually just looking at, in our division, you got Marasakai Wu and Phoenix Myth both ranking very high up there. There are a lot of guilds that are quite active. And really, if I think about, which guilds make it to the top, and even just looking at, One's Hope, right? That's our main guild, and we're ranked slightly above them. The main difference is we got 6 teams in the competition while One's Hope only have 5. When you look at the total number of trophies or crowns you have, it is the sum of the individual team ranking. So if you want better guild rewards, and when you look at season rewards, right, this is the individual reward, which is, really just for, the top team rankings. And unless you're in, the top 12 ranking, you're not getting anything from the season reward. But it's the guild ranking that matters. So if you want your guild to be up here, like in the 9 to 20, it's actually very easy. You just need 30 active players or 24 active players, and then having them all compete in 6 different teams. If you have 24 active players, you can send in 6 teams. Don't send in 5, send in 6, and that's going to help you with your ranking. And if you happen to have a guild of 15 people on your server and in your division, and you see another guild with around 15 players when you do your guild battles, why not reach out to the other guild leader and say, hey, why don't we just merge and have a full guild? Because you're going to do so much better in this content. You're going to do better in any of the other guild content, whether it be Wuthering Coast, making sure you hit the threshold, Broken Lands, right? Having more players definitely helps with clearing this content. There's a brand new boss that's coming with free legendary hero that comes along with it. So why not have a full guild, right? Why not join part of a really big community? The Bulls community is very much actively recruiting, and they have like, I think anywhere between 7 to 10 guilds if I count correctly. So there's definitely a spot for you. So if you're interested in joining the broader Bulls community, I'll leave the Discord information in the link below. Now, today we're going to take a look at more strategy around Battle for Glory, and we're going to, I'll battle through very quickly. And what I'll say is, we have a very mediocre team here, but when it comes to we kind of went through our battles, so we're going to skip through those really quickly. But I want to explain how the actual scramble works, because I think a lot of players are still not sure how the scramble take place every single day. You look at the scramble, it looks completely random. You're like, oh, why did some of these teams make it in? Or why am I attacking these groups with other groups? If I have allied guilds in here, will they end up fighting each other? The answer is actually all in the details here. I know sometimes the translation isn't great. Basically, what I'll say is every single battlefield 1, 2, 3, they're treated completely independently, because the scramble part ultimately is what determines your results. When you look at your battle results, which guild gets how many points and how do they move up or do they move down? It all comes down to the scramble and what is the order which your teams are getting eliminated, and that determines the final point. So the scramble is a very important part. And what determines what goes into the scramble. So here I've included actually a screenshot of the what the scramble starts at the very beginning. What you will see is the little number at the end of the person's name. That actually says which battlefield it came from. So you will see there are 2 teams from Battlefield 1, 2 teams from Battlefield 2, and 2 teams from Battlefield 3. Now, those are actually based on the battlefield score. So you can see when you go into the actual battle during the scoring phase, here this says 2. That means in the first battlefield, one's wizard collectively, we only score 2 points. And here's the battle report. For our team, Iceberg got 2, but we're ranked 4th place right now. And that means none of our teams would actually make it into the battle. Now, as I go through the different battles today here, so I'm just going to skip through. That's not good. I lost somebody already. Durst Phoenix. Hopefully I can... Oh, that doesn't look good because there's Atkins there. That's a really strong team. How about Smoke? All of them kind of looks questionable. I'll just skip this one. I mean, if not, I'll move the first team. I don't think I got it. Oh, I got it. Okay, excellent. And I'll try Smoke next. I don't know if I'll get it because there's yeah, that. And then I'll move to the joint battlefield. So you can see in the first battlefield, we're ranked 4th right now, and we have 4 points. 2 from me. Now, when we go to the second battlefield, you can see that we're actually ranked in 2nd place, even though we only got 1 point. I guess many of the other players haven't actually made their play yet. So if we actually finish in 2nd place, this will help determine how many how we all of our teams. So my team here. So if we actually check my allies, view your allies lineup, all of the middle teams here for Battlefield 2 will end up in the scramble tomorrow, basically in the last 4 hours. So understanding that part. And finally, from individual performance. So here you saw in the battle report, right? I got 2 victory and 1 defeat. With the individualized score here, this is how they determine when you go into the scramble, which players are actually attacking who in what order. This is based on the number of points you get. So if you actually get 5 points, you're far less likely to get attacked than if you are someone, say, with just 1 point. So now you can see how do the points in the battlefield here determines whether you end up, your entire team as a whole goes into the battle or not. So here, let's just quickly do our battles here. Let's pick people that we think we can reasonably cleave down. Firefly. Feel like I can cleave this, right? Yeah, I can cleave that. I think I can cleave this one as well. Fingers crossed. Yep. This is going to be rough because this one I'll manual, I think. Just because I need to poke them back. Poke. And perfect. There we go. Okay, now we're on to the last one. I'll just quickly skip that one. And let's just check. Now, if you really push hard, you really should coordinate with your team members. But here I'm just being lazy and I'm skipping. And unfortunately lost that one. That's not good. Let's go over to the last battlefield. But there's a very good chance if we do really well on the second battlefield, right? If we look at our ally lineup. Our second lineup, I think it's all right. I have a Lance. We got another Lance over here. We got an E3. E3 Giselle here. So the second lineup looks really solid. Going to Battlefield 3 here. This is my strongest lineup. And you can see we're ranking 5th place because we haven't really attacked yet. this is where it's important to make sure that okay, this looks like a okay easy lineup for me to auto. This looks okay as well because I can just counter CC that. Yeah, all these CC heavy ones, I'm gonna have an easy time. And Neo Fury, yeah, there's CCing here, should be easy. And so you can see here, even though I got a lot of points, we didn't really move up in score yet. Let's see if anybody sent theirs into the middle. So if I won all 5, I definitely will make sure I check in later to see if my allies put anything in the middle for me to finish. Yeah, so now we're actually ranked first place. So make sure you go back in there and double check because the scores don't update until you make your attacks. And we're still 4th place. So based on those points, this is how you decide you get into there. So where do we go from here? Taking all the learnings we have. If we take a look at the rankings, remember that the season rewards is really for the top 12 teams, which is out of reach for majority of us. When it comes to the guild ranking, this is where I think every guild will have an opportunity to go for the season reward. Squeezing into the top 20 if you have 6 active team shouldn't be too difficult. And for sure, you're going to be in the top 50 guilds out there. Now, when it comes to things to buy in the shop, we do have the Pick'em event every day. What I'll say is, again, consistently we will see that, you know, the strongest team will have advantage, but sometimes if you see, you know, a lot of teams that are of close power and they have very low voting chances, you might want to just bet like you know, maybe 100 into each because the actual expectation is actually better if any of them won. A great example is yesterday where we had a surprise victory coming out of the 3rd team. And if you bet on them, you would have gotten 50 times whatever you bet on that, and immediately getting a massive reward for what you can buy in the shop, right? But make sure you at least save 1,500 of these coins so that you are able to buy out the blind box too. In my mind, I think that's the highest value. If you don't need pets, you never plan to get them, then perhaps Miracle Runes is your best bet. Now, I know there's a really nice equipment chest and echo selection chest, but this is only for the top 12 teams. So if you never get into top 12 teams, you're better off just looking at the rune selection. You can either save up for your rune selection chest, or rather, you know, go for the blind box too. And that's probably the highest value. Maybe the summons, I'm not sure. Like in my mind, these you could eventually save up. Maybe you know, if you're in one of the big guilds, they will carry you, I guess, into one of them, so you can buy the selection chest, right? You can always get carried for a season. So with that, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you can coordinate better with your team. We'd love to see more guilds getting a lot more active and seeing a little bit of consolidation in the guild space so that we have more competitive guilds showing up on this scene. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gandalf out.